Hello Capricorn, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of March 5th through 11th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything that you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments of this video, okay? Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each card and use your own intuition to take you beyond what I'm saying, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have some 8 swords here. This is going to be some pesky air energy, which, as we are used to by now, is kind of common in Capricorn readings these days, okay? We're going to do the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread and see what else kind of comes out for us. I think you're making a lot of progress. With all the fiery energy that we see here, I think you are making tremendous progress. But then over here, we're balanced by this water energy too, so this is really making me pretty excited for the kind of blending of energies that we have this week, okay? Now we're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, quick shuffle here. Now we're not going to look at this until the very end of the reading, okay? We're going to leave that right there. And you do have to stick around until the end to find out how that is, going to tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we need at the very end, okay? So we start with this pesky air energy, the 8 of Swords. I think that you're someone who really does think about things. I think that you spend a lot of time in your head. I think that you are very considerate of other people, okay? I think that you do like to give people the benefit of the doubt. You like to always kind of think the best of people, right? And you try to see things from their point of view, right? You really try to empathize with people, okay? I think that you have very good instincts. I think you can read people very well. I think it's part of your kind of your intuitive energy. We see a lot of good kind of intuitive water on the path of the serpent here. I think that you kind of tend to get wrapped up in your head about people and trying to kind of figure things out, figure people out. It's kind of like you are looking for any way to rationalize behavior or circumstances, situations, kind of like you're trying to find the silver lining, but I think it's more just trying to almost like convince yourself that things aren't really what they seem. Does that make sense? I think with this whole, this situation that we've had with this air sign person, which has been now, I think, a couple of months going on, I think that this person is still kind of in and out of your life. I think that they may not really be directly influencing you now, but I think that that whole situation is still still bugs you, right? Whatever were the details of that situation, I think that you're still trying to wrap your head around it. You're still trying to kind of rationalize the behavior. It's like your mind, your kind of your intellect or your ego sees things a certain way, right? You kind of see what you would consider the facts of the situation, right? What actually happened with that person. But there is a part of you that is trying to see a different side. I almost would think that we'd have a hanged man here somewhere. Because I feel like you're trying to look at something from a different angle just to kind of, so it's not as bad. You know what I mean? So that you could find some aspect of this person that redeems them, right? Some kind of saving grace about the situation so that it's not just as kind of cut and dry as it seems. Because what we see in the recent past is this very distinctive tower energy, okay? I think that there really was a kind of a sudden conclusion to this previous situation with this air sign person. Now, we're calling them the air sign person because that's kind of who they've always been in your readings, but they may not be an air sign, okay? The reason why I'm saying the air sign person is one, because it's been, I think, an air sign previously in the previous readings. But I'm getting the feeling like they were just kind of mischievous. They were causing trouble. They were interfering, right? So they had this air energy about them. But I feel like that situation came to a rather abrupt end. We have this Tower energy. I think there was a considerable breakthrough on your part, maybe seeing the reality of the situation, or it's like all of the energy just kind of came to a head and there was a bit of an explosion, right? A bit of an argument or a confrontation. One final straw that, you just couldn't really hold back any longer, okay? I think you kind of finally got the last piece that you needed, the final bit of information. That last straw came in, and you kind of confronted the situation, or you expressed your fiery energy toward this person. Okay, now that could be an argument. It could be making a very kind of almost impulsive decision, but a very fiery energy. We see all fire going across the path of the dove here, from the Tower card to the Eon or Judgment card, right into this Knight of Wands, which is fire on fire, right, with double fire. So I think the course of activity has been rather rushed and hurried and intense, very heated. I think that there's been a progression that has been very fiery in nature, almost angry, very fast moving. But I think that's what you needed at this time in your life, right? Because I think with the Eight of Swords, I think you've been in a little bit of almost like a paralyzed kind of state, right? Where you're trying to almost convince yourself that the facts here aren't real, that things aren't what they seem, that whatever the situation was that was going on there was something you were missing, or it wasn't quite as bad as you thought. Or there was just something in there that you could use, that you were looking for, like that needle in the haystack, by which you could redeem this person and just say, okay, it was just my mistake, or it was a misunderstanding. But I think that has the potential to really kind of hem you in and keep you from making progress. And what we see just kind of barreling right across this Eight of Swords is all of this fiery energy, okay? Especially this pure fire energy that we get with the Eon or Judgment card. Now, this one is really talking about you riding the wave of this fire energy, right? If we're coming from this Tower, we're going right into this kind of, this channel, right in through this doorway, this portal that we see. And I think this really is you moving on from the situation in a very distinct way. This is almost like the momentum of this situation, the momentum of this Tower moment, where you perhaps lost your composure a little bit, understandably, justifiably so. I think that you kind of just had enough, And this fiery impulse is still going, and this is enough, I think, to roll right over this Eight of Swords, right? To put an end to any doubt that you may have, that you acted incorrectly, or that somehow you are in the wrong, somehow you are feeling guilty over this, or anything like that. This fiery energy is just covering that Eight of Swords, rolling right over it, okay? And this is a definite decision. I think that this is a definite act, an event that is not going to allow you to turn around and go back, okay? It was something very decisive. And I think we've been saying for weeks now that you've got to use your fiery energy to stand up for yourself, make a decision, and really draw a line in the sand. Maybe give this person an ultimatum. Maybe just say, hey, look, this is my person, this is my home, this is my business, or whatever, and there are certain things I'm not going to tolerate. You cross this line, you're out. There's no question, there's no debate. It's not a moving line. It's very solid, okay? And I think you've been that. You've been very assertive. And it may be a little bit going against your nature, right? I don't think you're naturally this kind of martial Tower, this Mars energy person. I think you're more reserved, okay? But we had this kind of explosive outburst, but I think that was good for you. I think not only was that good in this situation to finally be done with this kind of energy in your life, or this, this interference from this person, But I feel like it was a real breakthrough for you, like spiritually, emotionally, energetically, you know, to know and to really realize and to be aware, like, wow, I have this power, okay? Because I think by nature you are more reserved, more yielding, more tolerant, more accepting. But you are capable of tremendous power and force and activity and fire, you know? So I think it was good for you to see that in yourself, from yourself, okay? And I don't think that you overdid it. I think that it was probably just the right amount. Up above everything, we see the Two of Wands. This is like a really balanced fire energy, right? So it was impulsive. It was rather an outburst. It was kind of, you know, explosive and unexpected, you know. But it was done in the perfect kind of amount, the perfect measure, you know. You still had this balance. You still had this kind of calmness about you. It's almost like you could feel all of this fire starting to burst forth from you, and you kept it in check just enough so that it was a concentrate, like a laser beam of this activity rather than just an all-out 360 explosion, you know? So I feel like you were really able to concentrate this fiery energy exactly where it needed to go, and you resolved the situation, right? You took care of business, which again it feels like that's kind of goes against your nature. We see all this fire up here, but then down here on the kind of bottom half of the reading, we see all this water. We see all this water, and then we go into some more air energy coming up later, right? But I feel like the fiery energy is it was something kind of new for you. It was like a new feeling, you know? And honestly, I got to say I'm proud of you for doing that, because when we think about your last readings, it was this person's kind of been in and out. They've kind of been taking advantage of you. It's kind of been something where you tried to assert yourself, but you were still very gracious. And now I think this week you're just like, no, get out of here. We're done. I feel like it's very final, right? The Eon or Judgment card is a very final energy. Very final. There's really no turning back. This is a one-way door, exit only, you know? And I feel like you had just the perfect amount of force and fire, but balanced and calm. I think you are someone that really does like to be fair. You know, I think that you may be even now like considering doing some more activities in your life. Like maybe this was a new feeling. This felt really good for you. So now maybe you're going to be looking for more opportunities to kind of use your fire energy. Use this, I don't know, as a rush of adrenaline or something. You know, maybe now you're going to be learning through more experiences and learning as you go how to utilize this energy more effectively, how to kind of call it forth at will. Because I don't think it was something that you decided, okay, today I'm just going to stand up and I'm going to have this really forceful interaction with this person. No, I think it was rather spontaneous, right? I think it was an unexpected kind of outburst with this Tower energy. And now you're like, how do I control this? How do I use this for other things? Use this for growth? Use this to bring people together? Not just for getting rid of stuff I don't want, but how do I use this to get what I do want, right? And I think that's where we're getting into some of this water energy. We're going to go beneath the surface to this Princess of Discs. I think that you are definitely someone who is, you're kind of yielding. You're calm by nature. You have a very earthy, watery kind of quality about you. I mean, you're Capricorn after all. So that fire is in there, which we see with this THOTH card. We see the fire within the square, the yellow square of Earth, right? So that fire is kind of latent within you, and I think what happens sometimes is this fiery energy just gets too contained by the cold earth, the solid earth around it, you know? And it may take quite a jolt for you to get back into that fiery mode, you know, because you get so used to the earth, which is kind of what we're seeing here. This is earth on earth. This is a really kind of cold and dense, you know, earth energy. Yeah, it's the Princess of Discs, so it's generally a very happy, positive, optimistic card, right? Lots of potential here. But we have to remember that it's also earth on earth. It's the solid part of the earth. It's the dense earth. And that really takes a lot of chiseling to get through, to get to that fiery kind of middle, right? That source for you. So this is telling me that you're a very kind of tolerant and accepting person. It takes a lot for you to be moved to this kind of fire, this kind of anger, this kind of, impulsive, this Mars-like energy, okay? It takes a lot to penetrate beneath this. I think you're someone who tries to always be friendly and amicable, tries to always have a good, kind of generous, calm vibe. Even when people push you, you tend to just kind of smile it off and just try to be understanding. You try to be accepting and tolerant of people, right? But I think this situation, if it has been going on for a while, and there may be a P name involved there. With this person, they may have a first initial P. I'm feeling like that smile that you typically have suddenly turned into rage and yelling. I think you really used your voice here. That's an aspect of this Tower card that is sometimes overlooked, that it is not just explosive, violence and this fiery energy, but it's expressed through language, through words, through communication, right? And I think that kind of leads us into this Eight of Swords, where you're starting to kind of doubt, you're starting to now think, did I overreact? There's got to be something, like you want to find the positive qualities of this person, and you want to somehow go back to this kind of earth and this water energy. And I just think this fiery energy is not allowing you to go back to this, right? You're trying to kind of backpedal a little bit now with that Eight of Swords and trying to find reasons why you were wrong to do this. And I just think this fiery energy, this momentum that you have is going to keep rolling, okay? It rolls right into this Knight of Wands. So this is telling me that you are kind of looking for more opportunities to kind of exert this control and this power. It's like you found this kind of new fiery force and confidence, and you want to put it to use. You want to learn how to control it, So I see in the future that's kind of what you're headed toward. The one kind of catch of this card here is that this is fire on fire. So this is still some fiery energy that needs the control, needs the direction of the Two of Wands particularly. Because the Knight here has the potential to get carried away, right? Sometimes that Knight of Wands doesn't really know where it's even going. Sometimes it's the horse that leads, right? And not the figure itself, not the spirit, okay? So it's that fiery energy that has the potential to kind of run amok, get into trouble, destroy things, really just burn and get out of hand and get out of control. So this impulse that you have, this newfound like confidence and will and force and fire, needs to be tempered. It needs to be controlled and harnessed, and not just kind of let loose on the world, So that's why we have the Knight of Wands here, to remind us of that. And then, of course, down we have this Princess of Discs. Beneath all of this fiery energy, we have this. So this is kind of like an inside-out kind of Capricorn, right? Because you have that fire within that I think has been maybe crystallized or encapsulated by all of this earth energy, right? Which we saw with the Tatwa card. But now I think all of that fiery energy is on the outside, and this solid earth is kind of is inside now. It's within, So it's kind of an inside-out feeling. If you look at the overhead camera, we see all of this fire now with this earth down below. Usually this is kind of the opposite way, right? So I think now all of this fiery energy is becoming more conscious, more active. You have more of an awareness of it. It's coming out. And it's something that you now have to kind of consciously deal with. And the Two of Wands here, you have to harness it and control it and use that laser focus, right? Not let it just burn down the entire village, but really focus it where you are, trying to intentionally take it. Okay. So moving over to the path of the Serpent, we see a lot of this water energy. Now, first we have the Six of Cups, I think you are a very easygoing person. I think that you have a lot of joy, a lot of love in you. I think you really enjoy making other people feel welcome. I think that it is indeed difficult for you to be assertive or to be mean. You know, when you lash out at somebody or you have this martial energy, this fiery energy, I think you do feel rather guilty. You feel rather sad almost that you maybe hurt someone's feelings or that you were a little bit too forceful, right? Because you're an easygoing person. You love everyone. You're very accepting. I think that this is your adaptability and your this desire that you have, which I think is just part of your nature, that you want everybody to be in harmony, right? And you almost want to keep the peace at almost any cost, okay? But it's not just keeping the peace, because we see, you know, this is not a Four of Cups. We see a Four of Swords up here. But this is not just about keeping the peace. This is like, you don't want anyone to spoil the party, right? So you're going to do everything that you can to make sure that that person's enjoying themselves. You don't want them to be the party pooper, right? You don't want them to spoil everyone else's fun or your fun. So it's like to keep the six here, keep this harmony, keep this music going. If anybody is kind of out of place or not having a good time, you're going to do a little bit extra for them so that they can blend in and they can harmonize, that they can resonate with the music, you know? So it's not just about keeping the peace. It's about keeping the good times going, keeping the party going, right? So it's a little bit beyond just a kind of baseline keeping the peace. Your environment, again, this kind of goes with the whole party theme. This is the Ten of Cups. This, I think, is really the environment that you've created, one of happiness and support and nurturing and pleasure, almost luxury, right? I almost feel like you really do like the finer things in life, and that could be a reason why we have a bit of a shock with all of this fire energy, right? Because you feel like that's kind of disturbing this kind of gentle life that you have, right? Not that you have ever shied away from hard work. We have all of this earth energy here. You are a Capricorn after all, like I keep saying. And from your past readings, you very much like the hard work. But it's as if you're doing all of this hard work and you really want to enjoy the benefits of it, the rewards of it, you know? If you work all day and you kind of bust your butt all day long, you want to come home. You want to relax. You want to take a hot bath, a bubble bath. You want to relax. You want to get your favorite drink. You want to put on your favorite robe or whatever, and you want to chill, you know? And I think that all of this fiery energy is now bringing this kind of enjoyment to a different level for you. You're thinking of like new ways, like not in just kind of the, I'm going to relax and I'm going to kind of recuperate and enjoy my surroundings, right? Because this card is in the position of your environment. Okay, but it's also your biggest asset right now. So in terms of your environment, I think you like your environment to be very comforting, very beautiful. I think you have a strong sense of, you know, design and decorating. And I think you really like to feel good and pleasurable and comfortable in your environment, in your home, in your work situation. I think that even maybe if you have like an office at work, I think that you've decorated it so that it feels very comfortable. It's almost like I see you wearing your slippers around the office. You know, you're just kind of luxuriating. And this is also your biggest asset. This is you really having this tremendous capacity for this water energy, for this joy, this pleasure, and this bringing people in, for making other people feel good. Okay, I think you have so much of this good love energy that people can't help but feel it when they're near you, you know? And I think that this is sometimes leading you to being taken advantage of, you know? I think people know that when they're going through something or not feeling like themselves, they can always go to you and they'll feel better, you know. They can always count on you to kind of, to be there to just, you know, just to indulge with, or to have a good time, or to relax, or to recuperate. You know, they can just kind of lounge with you, and they'll feel better because you have that abundance of this love energy. And I think that is your biggest asset, like I said, and it's kind of in contrast with all of this fire energy, right? Because you're learning now how to kind of go the other side. I almost wonder if this is going to be the Art or Temperance card on that mystery card, to show us the blending of that fire and that water, you know, to see how you can incorporate this intense confidence and activity and adrenaline almost, right? This kind of rush of force and fire into your kind of this more chill vibe that you have, you know. The next card that we see is the Four of Swords here. This is some more air energy. I don't want to end with this air energy because I feel like we've been trying to get away from this air energy. But I think with the Four here, this is kind of an indication that this situation with this conflict that you've been having with who we're calling the air sign person, but whoever it is, maybe a P name, I think that situation is pretty much resolved, okay? And I think this is the card about keeping the peace. And this is the card I think that you have, you've kind of put bars on the doors and bars on the window, and this person's not allowed back in. You know, I mean, you've changed the locks kind of, and they're not coming back. I think you've given them a bit of a warning. If they do come back, they're getting more tower, okay? This is kind of like the locks on the door, the bars on the window. And I think that they know that, and you know that, but at the same time, you don't want to always be on guard, right? You don't want to be the one that has to always be looking out the window to see when this person's coming back in, okay? So I think this is really a shift in focus for you, because I think more than this is about you standing guard and waiting and having this kind of passive, yielding earth-water energy, letting things come into you. This is an active, you know, with this Mars energy especially, getting them out of your life, restraining order. You know what I mean? Literally changing the locks and barring the windows. If they come back, that's fine. You can concentrate on other things. This is not just kind of a passive waiting for disaster to come again, waiting for this interference in your life, waiting for this person to kind of make a move against you. You know, I think we're transitioning into this fire energy, to be honest with you. I think we're doing more active work. We're taking active, positive, constructive steps to make the life that we want, okay? And I think that really this person, if this is one particular person, maybe that P name person, I think they've been taking advantage of you, and they've kind of felt like they can always come back, even if you two have an argument or something, or you ask them to leave, or maybe you fire them or something. They kind of always come back, and they know that you'll just say, okay, let's try again. You know, it's that earth and that watery kind of quality about you. I think we're transitioning into this fire. I really think this is like a new start for you. I think people in your life are going to be like, damn, this person's kind of changed. They're, you know, they say no and they mean it now. You know, I think before people will get the idea, here we have the Prince of Swords. This is air on air. Okay, so we've gone earth on earth, fire on fire. We've got air on air, this pure air. I think people are a little surprised by your style of communication now. I think that you have been very, you're beginning to be very adamant and very kind of no means no, right? I think this is a new start for you. And I think people are realizing that people might be taken by surprise. Okay, that's what I'm seeing there. It's kind of this new way that people can see that something's different now, right? So the mystery card, we said maybe the Art or the Temperance card. I don't even think that, because I don't know that this is really a blending. I don't know if we're at the blending stage yet, you know. I feel like we've been in this kind of earth water. We're going into this fire energy, so this is going to be something more distinct. We already have this Eon or Judgment card. That's showing a very distinct move into the fire energy. So I think this is going to be like a new phase of your life. It's going to be like almost like a new you know, that you're different now. right? So maybe the Death card. Maybe the Death card kind of showing, because the Death card is going to have that watery aspect, with the Scorpio kind of attribution of the card. So we've got that watery aspect, and then we've got that transformation into this kind of new way of handling ourselves, this new energy that we're exploring, that we're learning how to use, right? We're trying to grow and expand and harness and learn to control that energy. So it's a growth. I think Death card. Sure enough, we have the Death card. Yeah, this is going to be a very kind of distinct change for you. I think you are, to some people, to this, the kind of the Prince of Swords over there. You're going to seem like a different person through this experience and through your exploration of this fire energy. It's going to be like a fresh start for you. It's going to be like you're stepping into something new, and you have to really learn to control, like we were talking about the Two of Wands especially. It's going to be a new growth. I thought maybe we would see the Princess of Wands, but I think we're kind of past that. I think this is not just about your actions and your activities and the way that you're handling your business. I think this is a more spiritual growth. This is something that has larger, more cosmic implications for you. It's part of your greater life path, Trying to integrate this fiery energy and really master that fire in you. Okay? And that's a big deal, and that's, I think, represented by this Death card. It is going to be a very distinct phase of your life. Okay. Capricorn, we're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, you can click on the link. That's right up there, and you can have access to all of the extended readings. Okay. This was your weekly reading for March 5th through 11th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.